y'all, this is Marley K. Hope y'all are well. Pardon me, I'm still a little under the weather from whatever this thing is that I came in contact with a couple of days ago. I don't even know how I caught it. I just got sick all of a sudden sitting in here doing my work in the house. Like I haven't been around people because I work from home. So I haven't been around people. Just all of a sudden in the evening, I just started coughing and got sick. And it was right after the air conditioning came on. So I don't know if something's in the air. I don't know. But anyway, I'm here. I got stuff to say and I need to say it. I got a story for you from the Daily Hodl. And it says the UN proposes digital ID system tied to bank accounts and mobile payment platforms. So I already told y'all this was coming because that's how they were doing in Nigeria and India, and I think in the Caribbean, in Jamaica, and I'm not sure if in Barbados. But anyway, the point is that it's you can see the beast infrastructure clear, and so now your job is to steer clear of it. Um, Especially if you Yasharel and hoping to escape what's coming. Okay, so it says the UN is proposing a universal digital ID system that would directly connect people's bank accounts and payment apps. A comprehensive new policy agenda from UN Secretary General Antonio Gutierrez, not Gutierrez, Guterres, details an identification network designed to digitalize and streamline the process of verifying people's identities on a global scale. The proposal is outlined in a section dedicated to global digital cooperation and sustainable development goals. You could talk about those sustainable development goals, some things. That's the devil in the details. It says the proposal is outlined. Oh, I'm sorry, I already read that. Digital IDs linked with bank or mobile money accounts can improve the delivery of social protection coverage and serve to better reach eligible beneficiaries. So everybody's going to have a digital ID, and I showed you where Lynette Zhang from ITM Trading also said the same thing. Well, if you have a bank account, you already have a digital ID. The thing is, are you going to opt out of using it in the way that they require you to? So, I wouldn't be fearful right now because they haven't officially told us what's what. But I wanted you to know that if you have a bank account or if you use PayPal, Cash App, Zelle, any of these other third-party payment platforms, the digital ID is going to be associated with those things too. So you're not going to be able to hide. You're not going to be able to participate in society if you refuse to use the digital ID, because you will not be able to use any of these platforms or even a financial institution without agreeing to have a digital ID. So it says digital technologies may help to reduce leakage, errors, and cost in the design of social protection programs. So they're getting ready to tell you they're getting ready to switch our system over to socialism. You're not going to have a democracy. You won't have a republic. You'll have a socialism, technocracy, a theocracy, because you're going to have one religion. You're going to have basically communism. You're not going to have the freedom to do anything. You're going to do what the government says do. You're not going to be able to have what you own now, because they're going to this common good model where you don't own anything and you will be happy. You won't own your home. So that's why, if you own anything now, like property, you should be setting up in your mind to part ways with it or understand you don't own it anymore. Because what they have coming, they already got laws on the books for this in a lot of places, is where, it's like squatters' rights. Whoever comes can stay. You're going to have to fight for your stuff. It's going to be like Mad Max. That's why, unfortunately, a lot of the snow people already know this. That's why they are so gun ho about having their weapons and always talking about defending themselves. Like black people, the only people don't know what's going on. Um, and you can't tell them nothing. I mean, I ain't never seen nothing like it, but folks getting caught up. Oh, I got a car, I got a house, I got this, I got that. All that stuff is going away. You ain't gonna have nothing. You're gonna have what they let you rent. We're gonna have a rent to own society. Now, I don't know if this is going to take place before or after we are caught up. So I got to tell you, just in case we start getting, close to the edge, I want y'all to know what's happening. So it says, the proposal follows a move by the World Economic Forum to explore systems that would track and verify human identities using biometrics. So, with a lot of these digitalization um, platforms, they want you to use biometrics. They want you to use your thumbprint or your iris or your face to identify who you are. And you notice now if you go to the self checkout is constantly running and they're scanning your face. So if you're going in there without your face covered, your face is already in a biometric system. If you've flown, if you're in the airport, if you have a driver's license or identification, your picture is already in a biometric database. So they just want to connect all the data that they have collected over the years. When we use these cloud services to store photos, we give them permission to collect those. When we use our phones, use the biometric option on our cell phones, they have your fingerprint stored, they have your face stored, whatever you use, your iris, they have that stuff stored already. So at the end of the day, this is just the final aligning to connect what they already have with your person, which will be your mobile device, your phone, and your mobile wallet in your bank account, or your phone and your mobile wallet and your Venmo or your PayPal or your Cash App or your Zelle or whatever you use. Um, and then they're going to be able to program it and control it. If you get out of line, if you talk wrong, if you speak out about stuff, they'll just cut you off. So um, it's getting close, y'all. It's time to start crying out. It really is. So it says the forum has teamed up with Swedish biometrics company Fingerprint Cards and is exploring blockchain based digital ID platforms that put privacy at the top of all major priorities. So when they say blockchain, basically all they're saying is a contract. If you agree, if you use this thing, you locked into it, and we're gonna control it, and we're gonna tell you you have power at the end of it, but really you don't. Whoever controls the contract controls whatever service they're providing to you. So there's no such thing as privacy in technology. If you've experienced the last 30 years, they can't protect your identity. They just cannot. They can't protect your phone number. They can't protect, their own institutions. The government been getting hacked for years. Um, so this privacy, that's just a bunch of bull. They ain't gonna be able to protect you. You can walk by somebody with your debit card and they can scan that number and make a new card and use it in Seattle, Washington. You can be in Florida. They can get your information in a matter of minutes and be swiping at Walmart in Seattle, Washington. You can be in Jacksonville, Florida, and somebody can steal your information and use your card number in Miami, and you ain't been to Miami. So there's no such thing as they're going to be able to protect anything. You can't protect nothing if it is not on your person. And so That is what you need to get, in your heads. There's no such thing as protection. So it says the UN notes that despite the rapid advance of technology around the world, more work is needed to provide equal access to the digital revolution and to reverse ever growing gaps in wealth distribution. Digital technology has led to massive gains in productivity and value. No, it's not. But these benefits are not resulting in shared prosperity. No, it's greedy people. Greedy people. Just greedy and demonic. The wealth of those in the top 1% is growing exponentially. That's because they control everything. Between 1995 and 2021, they accounted for 38% of the increase in global wealth, while the bottom 50% accounted for only 2%. Digital technologies are accelerating the concentration of economic power in an ever smaller group of elites and companies. The combined wealth of technology billionaires, 2.1 trillion in 2022, is greater than the annual gross domestic product of more than half of the group of 20 economies. So, anywho, they ain't telling us we don't nothing that we don't know. But here they'll give you this information, but tell you, oh, we're gonna partner with this Swedish digital company to make sure everybody get digital information so we can control social programs so that the rich can stay rich and y'all can keep working for the rich. And then they can continue to extract the last little bit of wealth from you and control you through food, through stuff that they give you, and they'll give you some entertainment. They're going to build more football stadiums and soccer stadiums and movie theaters. They're going to give you entertainment in your house because they got to keep you occupied while you're poor and entertained. So this is why you really need to if you're into entertainment, you really need to check out of it because um, at the end of the day, it's just a gimmick for them to keep you distracted so that you won't know that you are basically being pimped. I guess that's the best way to put it. So before I close out, I want to read this to you. Read these scriptures to you from Revelation. We're going to be reading from Revelation 13. We're going to start with 7. Then the beast was permitted to wage war against the saints and to conquer them. And it was given authority over every tribe and people and tongue and nation. So y'all is letting this stuff happen. He's given Satan permission to wage war against us. Then the beast was permitted to wage war against the saints and to conquer them, and it was given authority over every tribe and people and tongue and nation. So that means the beast has permission to do what they are doing now. So when you see what is happening, it's a part of us keeping watch, but we need to understand that God gave the beast authority to do the things that they are doing now. And all who dwell on the earth will worship the beast, all whose names have not been written from the foundation of the world in the book of life belonging to the Lamb who was slain. He who has an ear, let him hear. If anyone is destined for captivity, into captivity he will go. That means if you ain't trying to not be in captivity, you're going to be in captivity, which is why I emphasize keeping watch and trying to avoid being put into captivity. If anyone is to die by the sword he must be killed. Here is a call for the perseverance and faith of the saints. So some of us gonna go into captivity and some of us may die, but we must persevere. And so, as we are persecuted for our beliefs and standing up, it could be that we are persecuted. We may be killed or we may go into captivity. Um, but we must do it with joy, and that's what we gotta remember. So it says in 11, then I saw another beast rising out of the earth. This beast had two horns like a lamb, but spoke like a dragon. And this beast exercised all the authority of the first beast and caused the earth and those who dwell in it to worship the first beast, whose mortal wound had been healed. And that's going to be the Sunday law when they institute this national day of rest or this international day of rest, which is going to be Sunday. And so, if you do not rest on the day that they tell you to rest, because of course it's got to be the opposite of what God told you to do, then you will be killed. And the second beast performed great signs to cause even fire from heaven to come down to earth in the presence of the people. And so, when you see what's going on now about the spaceships and China making a new sun, and people starting to see all these things in the sky, all these wonders. It's going to be great, all kinds of great signs, excuse me, over the last days. But don't be distracted by those things, because those things got to happen. Just understand, when you see them, it don't mean nothing. It means nothing to us. Because of the signs it was given to perform on behalf of the first beast, it deceived those who dwell on the earth, telling them that an image to the beast had been wounded by the sword and yet had lived. The second beast was permitted to give breath to the image of the first beast, so that the image could speak and cause all who refused to worship it to be killed. And there, and I'm sorry, and the second beast required all people, small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their forehead, so that no one could buy or sell unless he had the mark, the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is a call for wisdom. Let the one who has insight calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and that number is 666. So I'm going to go down to, before I close, to the three angels message. The three angels in Babylon's fall. And it'll start with 6. Um, then I saw another sign. Then I saw another angel flying overhead with the eternal gospel to proclaim to those who dwell on the earth, to every nation and tribe and tongue and people. And he said in a loud voice, for God and give him glory. Fear God and give him glory, because the hour of his judgment has come. Worship the one who made the heavens and the earth and the sea and the springs of water. Then a second angel followed, saying, fallen, fallen is Babylon the Great, who has made all the nations drink of wine of the passion of her immorality. And a third angel followed them, calling out in a loud voice, if anyone worships the beast and its image and receives its mark on his forehead or on his hand, he too will drink the wine of God's anger, poured undiluted into the cup of his wrath. And he will be tormented in fire and sulfur in the presence of the holy angels and the Lamb, and the smoke of their torment rises forever and ever. Day and night there is no rest for those who worship the beast and its image, or for anyone who receives the mark or its name. So you may receive the mark, but don't worship the image, or you may worship the image I'm sorry. So it says, day or night there is no rest for those who worship the beast and its image, or for anyone who receives the mark. So you don't have to do both. If you do either or, there's going to be no rest for you. So this is why, I try to tell you about what the mark is, because there are two components to this. One, you can't receive mark, and two, you can't worship the beast. You shouldn't be doing both of them, but I want you to understand that there are two pieces that we got to be concerned with. So that's why I'm kind of really honing in on what this mark is going to be and whether or not we can actually get out of it. So, I don't really know if we can opt out. I mean, it says if you receive the mark. So if you receive it, I guess it means if you take it. If you reject it, you didn't receive it. And that's kind of my own interpretation. I'm not a theologian, so do not. I'm giving you the little thing, the little disclaimer, like they do on the commercials when they try to sell you the drugs. I am not a professional. I'm not a paid actor either. I'm just a person trying to interpret the scripture. But this line stuck out to me because it says or. So it's either or. So we can't do either. And which is why you need to continue to prep. Get what you can get while your money is still good. Buy water, buy food, buy things that you can use to preserve you until, the Messiah comes back to collect his, because we're not going to be able to participate in this system, and we're going to be persecuted. And you need to have a go bag, because they're going to be trying to come get us as soon as you refuse. So the other thing is, like, when you refuse this mark, you're going to have to get rid of your technology. You need to be prepared to get rid of your internet. When it's mandatory, you need to get rid of your internet. You're going to be able to, you're going to have to get rid of all of your digital stuff in your house that um, is tied to an ability to buy or sell. So that would be tablets, computers, televisions, phones. Um, you're going to have to do a deep clean of your life to go off the grid, basically, and to live in a society where we barter, and you're going to have to be self-sufficient. So it's really, excuse me, important that you work on self-sufficiency, because you see this plan is already in place. If they're telling us, it's already in place. That's always my philosophy. And if they're saying it within 6 months, it'll be so. Maybe a little longer, because they got to work on the whole world. But America is the biggest obstacle because we have the most freedom. And it's going to be tied, this mark is going to be tied to economics. So those people who don't have money and they didn't prepare, those people are going to take the mark. And I guess they'll be okay. They'll be happy to go into society marked for a short period, but they don't understand what's going to come with that decision either. It's going to be ugly. So my suggestion is just not to even try to be here. Get right, people. Get right. Here is a call for the perseverance of the saints who keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. So you got to keep the faith and the commandments. So we can, talk about keeping Sabbath and honoring the Ten Commandments. But if we don't have faith, if we're fearful, if we are afraid, if we're not taking heed and listening to what the Bible is telling us to do regarding self-sufficiency, regarding all the clues that we have been given, uh, on ways to live outside of this system, because you can do it. It's just work. And it's work that we have, a lot of us are not accustomed to, because we grew up in big cities, we grew up in high rise apartment complexes, we grew up on public transportation, we grew up where you could just turn on the faucet and water comes out, you go to the bathroom, you can flush the toilet. Like, there are a lot of things that go into living a self sufficient life. And if you have not planned for that, it's rough. So that is why you need to be prepping and planning right now, because these people ready to pull the trigger on their plans. And it says, and I heard a voice from heaven telling me to write, blessed are the dead, those who die in the Lord from this moment on. Yes, says the Spirit, they will rest from their labors, for their deeds will follow them. And so I um, think of this as, those of us who are trying to wake people up, we're in this awakening. We don't know if we're going to be persecuted. We don't know if we're going to be slain because of our beliefs. We don't know if we're going to be punished because we um, are working to try to get as many people to wake up and cry out to the Most High as possible. But I'm counting on this 13 just saying that we'll be able to rest from our labors and that our deeds will follow us. So that's why I take my time and I make these videos, and I try to teach people how to navigate what's coming on this earth. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be anything that you want to live through. I don't even know why people are like, I want to stay here. I don't know why nobody want to have anything in America, especially if you black, a black American, African American, descendant of slave. Like, you ought to be so tired of this country and all the stuff that they do to us. We should be ready to go. So I don't know why anybody would want us to stay here and be married or wed to this mess. We got Babylonian ways. We don't love each other. Um, we struggle here. They always lying to us and moving the goalposts. You're trying to work and take care of yourself, and they got tricks and shenanigans. Like, we are a designated class of people who just cannot be free. Um, So I'm tired, and I don't know about anybody else, but I just don't see this as my home. So I'm not married to anything here. It was time to ride out. I'm ready for y'all to come get us. Where my ride at? That's my mindset. And so, because I understand the system and how it works and what the future of it is, I spend my time trying to wake people up and say, hey, this is coming. Y'all need to get ready. Um, but just a lot of our people are not awakened. So either they're going to take the mark of the beast, um, or they're going to worship the image of the beast. And a lot of our people are going to be destroyed, sadly. So I don't know. It's just, it's happening really fast. That's why I just want you to know everything is happening really fast. They have fast tracked everything. People are like, oh, it's going to be by 2030. No, by 2030, that's probably when Yahusha going to be fighting the adversary in the big army, because what's getting ready to happen with this digital ID, this is happening now. Like, this is happening within the next year or so. The pilots are about done. Um, they keep talking about accelerating. When you look at the United Nations, you look at WEF, you look at these governments, they're all talking about accelerating, acceleration, acceleration, acceleration. And so that means they're going to go faster. I don't want nobody to be caught off guard. So that's why I'm stressing prep, 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 prep. please make sure you see how hot it is. Make sure you have plenty of water. Because once that water stops, you can't live without water. You're going to need some water to hydrate. If it's hot, we don't have electricity, you're going to be sweating, you're going to need to replenish. Make sure you have alkaline water. Make sure you have vitamins, because you're going to need to replenish the vitamins that are leaving your body when you sweat. And you're going to need to replenish the vitamins that you don't get naturally from food, because we may have to eat different. If we don't have a garden and you're eating non-perishable food from cans and pouches, then you may have to supplement with vitamins in order to keep your immune system healthy. You're going to need to keep your immune system healthy, because the winter is coming and they're going to unleash the cootie bugs. I swear they unleashed one on me, but that's just my tinfoil hat. Just ignore me. But I just can't explain how I got sick, and I haven't been around anybody to be sick. Like literally nobody. I'm sitting at the table, all of a sudden just the air comes on, I start coughing. I sneezed about 20 times, just like sneezing. And then that night I was miserable and I just went downhill after that. So I'm like, what happened? So it's no telling. Like, we just don't know what these folks gonna do to us. But we know they have plans. And so the best thing you can do is try to be prepared. Work on understanding natural, holistic ways to care for yourself when you are ill. Getting your food together. If you're going to garden, get your gardens together. If you're going to need tools and things, buy those, things. Water is going to be huge. I think people underestimate the amount of water that you're going to need. It's hotter than usual, or so they say. So we need to be preparing as best we can, and we need to be navigating this beast system, because they are already ready to give us a digital ID with our bank accounts and control our money. And I know my money gonna be controlled. They're gonna kick me out. I'm waiting on the day for them to be like, oh, you can't bank no more. I'm like, okay. So I've been living my life for the last couple of years preparing for that. And you say it to people and people just are kind of like, they look at me like I'm crazy. But they don't really understand what is happening. And I see it clearly. I understand. I've always been a person who can see years ahead, far ahead of other people, and I can see things that other people can't see. When you a seer, it is really difficult to convey to people how important things are, because to you can see right now, you can see 5 years from now, you can see the path to the 5 years or the 3 years, and you understand what is going to happen, how catastrophic it's going to be, or how serious it will be. But for simple people or people who don't have that gift, you can't impress upon them the seriousness of whatever it is that you're talking about, because they can't see it. And so being a seer is a blessing and a curse. Um, I just try to use my gift to build the kingdom of the Most High and to preserve His people. We are called to look after each other. And, I guess if I did some stupid movies or videos or skits or whatever, folks would pay attention. But you shouldn't have to do all that to make people get serious about what's happening. Excuse me. So I don't know, what else to do. And then we can't fight the algorithms. We don't control Satan's communications. All his evil communications belong to him. We just are able to use them. He allows us to use them until he doesn't. So let us do what we got to do to prep. I've been prepping my butt off, been working real hard, trying to make sure I'm getting extra stuff. I went to the store the other day. I got me some extra rice, got 75 pounds of rice because I know the rice shortages are coming. I'm going to buy me some little small mylar bags because one of these bags of rice will be to give away to people who are looking for stuff, um, where you can kind of give them a can of something, some vegetables and some rice, and send them on their way. Because it's going to be a whole bunch of people who did not do what they were supposed to do. Um, and it's mostly for family and the people who live in this community, not for strangers per se, because you got to be careful when you're sharing with people, um, because people will come back and try to get more or do harm to you because they did not prepare. But we are called to do good in our community and share with our brothers and sisters. And so um, I am prepared for that too, or I'm preparing for that. So do what you can do. Do it while you can. Um, Understand that whatever you do when you make these mobile transactions or these digital transactions, they already know what we do. So if you're going to do something as far as prepping is concerned, if you can and where you can, try to pull out cash and buy local. Go to the store and make the purchase, um, because in the event there's a national emergency, they can come and confiscate whatever you have. And y'all know, because we are really not truly citizens in this country, they can come and take whatever they want to from us. I'm just keeping it real. But make sure you have stuff stashed in multiple places. Make sure you are continuing to prepare with non-perishables, because I firmly believe that they are going to do something with the power grid. And if it goes out, it's probably not coming back up for a minute. If you got food in the freezer, it's probably going to spoil after a couple of days. So you'll have to cook it, give it away, or throw it away. And there's just going to be a lot of chaos. So do what you can do to not be in the street. Do what you can do to find water sources, springs. Um, look in your state for natural springs. Travel to them. Buy you some containers so that you can put you some water in them. Drink from them, get you some water purifiers so that you can purify your water in the event that there's no power and you have to use water from different sources, or use rainwater, whatever. And also make sure you have a way to catch rainwater. So when it does rain, you know you can put your bucket outside or whatever and have you some water that way too. And buy some screen so that you can put over your bucket so that you don't have to worry about a whole bunch of bugs and stuff getting in it, and leaves and trash. But there are a lot of ways to prepare, um, for primitive living. Just make sure you are working on ways that are good for you. Nobody can tell you what to do for you. We all got different budgets. We all got different skills, talents, and abilities. We all have different circumstances. We got different amounts of people we have to take care of. Take all those things into consideration and do your preparations, because I don't think we have much more time. The Most High got to be coming soon, because there's no way we're going to be able to make it, not without persecution. And so also build persecution into your thought process, because we're going to be persecuted. You're going to be debanked, or you may just refuse to receive the mark, and then you'll be persecuted. That's when you'll start seeing society rebel, unless you live in a place where people are on the same page. And fortunately, amongst our people, we ain't gonna have that. I live amongst a lot of Christians, and um, I don't think they're gonna listen until the lights go out. I don't think they're gonna listen until they understand about the mark of the beast, and then they will listen. But as long as we're here, we still have time to talk to our brothers and sisters. And I'm just, praying that y'all gives us opportunities through struggle or through just a disaster for people to wake up and see. And I know that's what it's going to take for Black people. Black people need something bad to happen for them to be like, oh, what's going on now? Tell me. I remember you said so and so and so. Now, what was you saying? That's how our people going to be. So just be ready, because these people are moving fast. Their agendas are accelerating, and so with that. They know this economy is getting ready to collapse. Babylon is getting ready to fall. It's going to be chaos. And all this stuff that they talked about in these movies, they've been predicting this stuff for a long time. They know. They've been doing scenarios. They've been working this stuff out. They've been doing computer models. And they know biblical prophecy. They know. They know what's coming. We don't know what's coming because they've kept us dumb. So make sure you keep prepping, keep praying, keep seeking the Most High, keep repenting daily for sins of commission and sins of omission. Um, Listen to that Holy Spirit. Listen to the Spirit, because I'm getting all kinds of stuff, and it's so much. It's overwhelming, but I'm thankful because everybody don't have this gift. Some people are just gone. And I don't know if they're going to be able to come back, but you might be somebody's light. So understand we're light in this hour. We're supposed to be light, shining in darkness, trying to save as many people as we can. So do the work, do y'all's work, so that our deeds will follow us. And continue to pray and seek the Most High, cry out, so that we can try to be found worthy to escape what's coming on this earth, because we are not going to want to be here when these folks institute all this stuff. It's going to be crazy. So y'all know what to do. Like the video, share it, subscribe to the channel. Also consider subscribing to my Rumble and my Odyssey in case this channel goes down or I get another strike. Follow me on social media. All the info is in the description. And if you'd like to support the channel, links to support the channel are also in the description. This is Marley K. Love y'all. Take care. And I'm out.